Hello, my friends. Today's lesson is about evaluating a rental apartment. And in this lesson, we will identify common problems in a rental apartment. We'll use expressions for giving advice. We like to help our friends and family when they are choosing a place to live. And we'll also discuss problems when you rent an apartment and how to solve them. So first, let's get ready and let's take a look at this page. Imagine that you are looking for a rental apartment, and we're going to describe the things we like. We had a lesson in the past called Choosing a Place to Live. This is very similar, but the questions we ask and the things we consider are different when we are looking to rent instead of buy. So, would you rent an apartment on a busy street with lots of stores? Maybe that's something that's important to you. Yes, I would. I like going to stores. I like the convenience of having stores nearby. What about you? Would you rent an apartment in a building next to a school? Hmm, maybe. Maybe you would say, yes, I would. It's nice to live close to a school so my daughter can walk to school. Or maybe, no, I would not like to live next to a school because there may be a lot of noise. Would you rent an apartment on a street with several bus stops? Would you rent an apartment with a shower but no bathtub? Would you rent an apartment with no washer or dryer in it? Would you rent an apartment in a building where pets aren't allowed? These are questions we would consider when we're looking for an apartment. Let's review some vocabulary when we're evaluating rental apartments. So here we have some pictures matched with some vocabulary. The vocabulary is here in bold. And for example, number one, there's a leak under the window, so the floor is wet. This is picture F. A leak is when water comes out when it is not supposed to. This is a leak. Number two, the thermostat doesn't work, so the apartment is always cold. This is letter E. She's wearing a coat inside her apartment. That's a problem. So the thermostat, the machine that controls the temperature in the apartment, is broken. Three, when you flush the toilet, the water doesn't go down. This is letter A. He's working on the toilet. It's important that our toilet flushes and the water goes through the pipes. Four, there's something wrong with the outlet, so the toaster isn't working. This is letter C. Something has gone wrong with this outlet for electricity. Maybe it's blown a fuse, maybe there was a fire and it's not working now. This is an outlet. Five, the trash room is very dirty. This is letter H, oh my. Right? When you live in an apartment, you may take your trash to one location, and this is very messy, very dirty. Look, there's even a Santa Claus hat. Six, there's a plumbing problem. There's a slow drain in the kitchen sink, so it takes a long time for the water to go down. This is letter D. So there's something blocking the drain. He's got a plunger over the drain. The plumbing refers to the pipes underneath the sink. Seven, when you turn on the faucet, the water is always hot. So that could be a problem when you want cold water. This is a faucet. Turn on is to have water come out. If you turn it off, the water stops. And number eight, there's a hole in the wall. You can see the sky through it. This is letter G. This cannot be good. There's a hole in the ceiling or the wall. Our next slide is also about some vocabulary, and we're going to match the statements with some if clauses. So for example, you can adjust the temperature on the thermostat if the room is too cold. If the room is too cold, you can adjust the temperature on the thermostat. We can interchange these if clauses. Cláusulas. Let's see what else. You may have to sign your name if you are filling out a form. Usually when we fill out forms, we sign our name, especially if we are agreeing to rent an apartment. You should plug in your cell phone if the battery is low. So notice we're using can and may and should. We had a lesson on these words. May and should are a lot like deber. Number 4, you should turn off the lights in your bedroom. Turn off so there's no light if you are going to sleep. That is ideal. You can keep your house in good condition if you fix things when they break. In good condition means that everything is working and everything looks nice. Okay. So now we're going to watch a video about choosing a rental apartment and the things that we should look for when we do. So we should always find out these things. I'll read them aloud. The apartment is on a noisy street. There is parking near the apartment. The common areas like the stairs, the trash room, and the laundry room are clean. The windows and doors open and close. There are any old appliances. There are any plumbing problems. Notice the word plumbing has a B here, but it is a silent B. We do not hear the B in plumbing. The apartment needs painting. The electrical outlets work. So in the video, there will be 5 of these items that the future tenant is asking if they are a problem, yes or no. So let's watch the video and then we'll return and choose the 5 correct questions that the tenant asked for.
Finding a rental apartment can be exciting, but it's not always easy. It's important to check certain things before you make any decisions. Hi, I'm Sally Jones from Smart Renting. Here are the things you should look for if you want to find an apartment that's right for you. 1. Take a walk around the neighborhood near the apartment building. If the building's on a noisy street, your apartment may be noisy too. You'll also want to know if the neighbors are noisy. It's a good idea to visit the apartment on the weekend when people are home. 2. Check the common areas, like the stairs, the trash room, and the laundry room to see how clean they are. 3. Open and close every door and window. If a door or window doesn't open, ask the landlord to repair it before you move in. It's also a good idea to take pictures of any damage, like holes in the walls. That way, you can prove the damage was there before you moved in. 4. Turn on the cold and hot water in every faucet and flush the toilets. Make sure there are no leaks or slow drains. This way, you'll know if there are any serious problems with the plumbing. 5. Check all electrical outlets. Bring your cell phone and charger with you to the apartment. That way, you can plug your phone into the outlets. If it charges, there's electricity in the outlet. Also check the appliances. Open the refrigerator to see if it's cold, and turn the oven on and off. 6. Ask about the heating and the air conditioning. Is there a thermostat in the apartment? Can you adjust the temperature if you're too hot or too cold? Make sure to put in writing anything you ask the landlord to repair. Ask the landlord to sign the list you made. Doing these things will help you get an apartment in good condition. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be right for you. From Smart Renting, this is Sally Jones.
Okay. So take a moment, you can pause the video and choose the letters of the items that Sally Jones talked about checking for before you rent an apartment. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. Sally mentioned in the video that you should find out if A, the apartment is on a noisy street. C, the common areas like the stairs, the trash room, and the laundry room are clean. D, that the windows and doors open and close. F, there are any plumbing problems. And H, the electrical outlets work. You may go back and watch the video again if you'd like, and then we will answer these questions. Why should you try to visit a rental apartment on the weekend? Do you remember what Sally said? It's to make sure that the apartments aren't noisy when the tenants are home. How can you prove that you didn't cause damage in your rental apartment? Sally suggested taking pictures. And using your cell phone for pictures is a good idea because it has the time stamp on it, the time and the date. Number 3, why is it a good idea to plug your cell phone into the outlets before you rent an apartment? That's right, to make sure that the outlets work and that there's electricity. Why is it important to make a list of repairs and ask the landlord to sign the list? This is to make sure that the landlord will fix things before you move in. What things did you check before you chose a place to live? Here we have a conversation that you can practice with someone at home or yourself. I'll play it for you now and then read you the other variations that this conversation can have.
Hi, Mr. Lopez. This is Mary.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
I'm fine, but there's a problem with the apartment.
I'm sorry to hear that. What's wrong?
2 outlets in the kitchen don't work. I can't use my toaster because there's no place to plug it in.
I'm glad you called. I'll send someone over to look at it. When are you home?
I come home from work around 6. The best time for me is in the evening.
Okay.
Some other problems you might try in practicing this conversation are the air conditioning doesn't work. It's hot in the apartment. The window leaks when it rains. The wall under the window is wet. Notice here the word leaks is in the form of a verb, to leak. We learned the noun version earlier. If something has a leak, it can be in the form of a noun as well. There's no hot water coming out of the kitchen faucet. I have to wash the dishes in cold water. The heater isn't working. The apartment is very cold. Practice this conversation several times This part of our lesson is about giving advice. When you're looking for a place to live, you often ask your family and friends for advice. Or maybe they ask you when they are looking for a place to live. We say things like, it's important to, it's a good idea to, and make sure to. These are all expressions for giving advice, consejo. So, for example, it's a good idea to visit the apartment on the weekend. People are usually home then, so you can find out if you have noisy neighbors. Maybe you say, it's a good idea to make sure, well, it's a good idea that you like the location of the apartment. Make sure to check the common areas in the building. It's important to check the condition of the apartment, the doors, windows, appliances, faucets, toilets, and outlets before you move in. It's a good idea to take pictures of these things if they are broken so the landlord can fix them before you move in. Let's play a few rounds of the review game. What can you do to make your apartment colder? Adjust the temperature, flush the toilet, plug in your cell phone. That's right. Adjust the temperature. And what do you use? The thermostat. Very good. These are old thermostats that had a dial. Actually, they have buttons now, don't they? What is one way to check for plumbing problems? Turn on the oven, flush the toilets, plug in your cell phone. That's right, flush the toilets. Plumbing are the pipes that are underneath the sink in the apartment. What can you flush? A sink, an outlet, a toilet. A toilet. Very good. When you're finished using the bathroom, you flush the toilet with a little lever. All right, I hope you enjoyed this lesson on evaluating a rental apartment. There are many questions you should have and find out before you move in if they are a problem. I'll see you next time.